Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is going to be, is this the cheapest afternoon tea in London? Which is a bit of a different video for me. If you're new here, hi, welcome, my name is Matt. If you've not been here before, what we normally do on this channel is like a come shop with me around like H&M, Zara, Primark, Bicester Village, other places as well as hauls, vlogs, grocery hauls, Too Good To Go bags. So if that's your jam, then definitely take a moment to subscribe down below and ring my bell to be notified of when I upload. But I thought today I was going to afternoon tea. I've come back from London. Went to afternoon tea today, and I've been to this place before, and I wanted to see, is this used to be the one of the most, I'm going to say in quotes because I'm not exactly potential, it used to be the most affordable afternoon tea in London, and I've been before and it was good. So that is what I want to discuss today. And yeah, if you like this type of video, then definitely keep on watching. So spontaneously, I asked my mum, I think it was last week, do you want to do something in London because I've got the day off? And I probably shouldn't because I was very tired from yesterday. I went to Alton Towers, 5-hour round trip, and I think it ended up being 6 in the end. And I drove to take my nephew and stuff. But yeah, and I said to my mum, spontaneously, do you want to do something? How about afternoon tea and look around the shops or something like that? Because yeah, it's just a nice thing to do. So that is what we did. We booked afternoon tea at the Wallace Collection, which, if you don't know, is a museum in London. It's got like furniture and pictures and, like, I would say artifacts, but not like ancient artifacts, like stately home things, as well as like a lot of armor stuff and stuff like that. It's a free museum to go into. So if you need like a thing to do for an hour, it's fairly interesting. And it is just like, not just, but it's in Manchester Square, I believe, which is on Duke Street, like at the end of Duke Street, and it's just set back from Oxford Street. So it's not like literally from Selfridges, it's like directly behind it. So if you need something to do, that is quite a good little thing to do if it's raining or something like that and it's air conditioned. So yeah, and I booked afternoon tea for there because last year I went to afternoon tea with my sister there and it cost around £19. It has now gone up and it is £24.90 or around that price. I'll put the actual price on screen per person. That is kind of an entry-level price for afternoon tea in London and basically in general, really. You won't get much cheaper than that. Back in last year when it was £19, that came up as like one of the cheapest things, unless you go to, I don't know, a like chain restaurant and do afternoon tea there. So yeah, it comes up as one of the cheapest options, and it isn't actually too much different from the Ivy, which I believe is around the £26.95 mark. And there's several Ivies dotted around one around the UK and one around London if you're looking for afternoon tea, which is another good alternative. I do like the afternoon tea in the Ivy. Some of the cakes in the afternoon tea in the Ivy are a little weird. Like you get a smoothie and stuff, and I don't want a smoothie when I'm going to afternoon tea. But they did used to do a really good afternoon tea. It seems to have got a bit weird, and they change it seasonally. I think they'll have like an autumnal one and a winter one and a spring and a summer one kind of thing. But we're not talking about the Ivy today. We're talking about the Wallace Collection. So first little bit, I booked it online. You don't book it. You can't book through their own website. So you have to book, either you have to ring up or email possibly this person they say on the website, or there is this other website, I can't remember what it's called, but when you get the confirmation stuff, it comes up as the Fork, and you book through that. And I booked that like last week, got a confirmation saying it's fine, had an text and an email saying it's fine. And then what I didn't realise, because I wasn't really looking at my phone yesterday because I was out and about, really tired at the end of the day as well. A long day. I was like out at 7:30, drove for 3 hours, walked all around Alton Towers, drove back, and it was like 9 o'clock when I got home. So I was like exhausted. So I wasn't really looking at my phone for emails and things, but I had an email at like 3:50-ish in the afternoon saying, oh, it didn't say afternoon tea, because when you book on this website you can't select afternoon tea, and it tells you to select lunch and just type afternoon tea at the bottom. So that is what you have to do on this website to book it if you don't want to ring up or email the manager of the restaurant, I guess. But so yeah, so I had a confirmation at like 3:50 something on the Monday, and we went on went on the Tuesday. So on the Monday before, had the confirmation saying you're all booked in for your booking, and then I got another one at 4 in the afternoon. So like 10 minutes later saying yours is cancelled. I did not look at this until till we were like an hour away from our booking, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So, and I didn't have anything on text saying my thing was cancelled at all. It said you are booked, and I think it came up this morning saying you're booked. So what we did was, when we got to the Wallace Collection, what it used to tell you is you have to be there an hour before so you can go around the museum. It doesn't tell you that anymore, so you don't need to do that, and the museum is free. You can just walk in. If you want to, you can do a donation, obviously, because it's like a not-for-profit kind of thing. So we walked straight up to the restaurant. The restaurant is like, you have the entrance here, there's then like a main stairwell, there's like a gallery room, and then the restaurant is in the courtyard in the centre of the actual Wallace Collection. So I walked up to the like, not till, but like the please wait to be seated thing, because you can just walk up and just have like a lunch there and stuff. So I walked up and said to the woman, can I just check if I am actually booked for afternoon tea? And she did say yes. What I had to do was cancel your lunch because you're not actually having lunch, and rebook you, but I didn't get a confirmation to say I've rebooked. So it is worth double checking, because like when I saw that email, like my heart sank, and I was like, oh, am I not booked for afternoon tea then? What is happening here? So definitely wanted to check that. So it was glad I checked that, and it was probably, I want to say 50 minutes before the actual time we were meant to be there. I think afternoon tea starts at 2:30, and that's when we started. We had our afternoon tea, so definitely check that. And then we walked around the museum for like half an hour, just for something to do, because we're obviously too early, and just had a meal around, and then we went back and got seated about 5 minutes earlier than our time, which is obviously fine. I normally get to restaurants and stuff like 5 to 10 minutes before the allotted time. We got seated. They were kind of still clearing up lunch stuff and things, and so they kind of set, I wouldn't say the table was laid out great. I mean, it's a very casual, it's not like the Ritz, very casual kind of vibe in terms of what to wear. Like, I was wearing shorts, people just walk up. It's not like a formal occasion, so if you want a formal occasion, don't go here. But last time, and this is why we went again, because I went with my sister last time and we had a good experience, so that's why we booked it to go this time. So and then very promptly the lady, they like kind of reconfigured our place settings and stuff, and then the lady came out. We had the menu, which the menu is just tea and the different teas they do, which they do quite a lot of variety of teas. I went for just like an English breakfast, and my mum went for like a wild berry one. Just got to select that, and it was just like tap water for the table. And then like probably 5 to 10 minutes later, so not long at all, we did not wait that long, they came out with the afternoon tea, which was a selection of very like dainty sandwiches. You got 4, so 8 in total between 2. You got 2 scones, not each, so 1 scone each, and then you got a section of 3 little cakes. I would say last time I came to this, we had like a substantial like sandwich, like a finger sandwich, and 4 of those, and got those on the plate. They've redone what they do for afternoon tea, basically. They redid those, and you just got those on the plate. Now you have a proper stand. You did have a stand last time, but it was literally just, what was it, scones, and then very small like petit foie kind of size cakes. And I would say the scones are fruit, as in sultana, which I prefer personally. I do not like a plain scone. I prefer there to be a sultana in it. There's only a few, but yeah. So the sandwiches were nice. They were salmon, egg and cress, like cheese and pickle, and then coronation chicken. So very bog standard afternoon tea affair. You then have the scones, obviously, and then the selection of cakes where there was like a marmalade cake, a ginger carrot cake kind of thing. There was not very much carrot in it. And then like a chocolate, kind of very rich chocolate, not mousse, but it was like a hard ganache shell, and then you dip, bit into it, and it was like soft. So yeah, that was like the cake selection. There wasn't too much. I was expecting a bit more, but in London, as I said, this is one of the cheapest ones you can get. So the £24.95-ish round that mark for the afternoon tea is a very fair price, or very reasonable price in London for an afternoon tea. And what you get, it's very filling. Like I would not say I was hungry afterwards. The sandwiches were quite small, probably that big, but you get 4 of them. It's not too bad. It was decent. Would go back potentially, maybe. There's probably better. I would want to choose or try different afternoon teas, because in London really only tried that one and the Ivy, and we would say we wouldn't do the Ivy again unless the menu changes. So I think, in my opinion, this is it's one of the cheapest afternoon teas you can buy, and it's definitely worth going to. It wasn't that busy. I mean, they literally left you alone, and we had to ask for the bill and stuff, and we weren't in there that long. We were in there like an hour, about an hour-ish, an hour and 10 maybe, and we'd finished after like probably 50 minutes of eating, really. So, but it's quite a very relaxed atmosphere kind of thing. So yeah, if you want a chill vibe, with a bit of culture in there, with the kind of museum aspect, and it not to be crazy busy, because it's kind of, I wouldn't, unless you Google it, which obviously if you're going to Google afternoon teas in London, it's going to come up because it's one of the cheapest, and it's in a very nice setting. The courtyard I do really like. I like the vibe. It's like pink walls and stuff. It's really nice with a really nice glass roof. I would say when the sun comes out, it's hot, so bear that in mind. But it was pretty cloudy today, so most of it was bearable, to be honest. So yeah, let me know down below what afternoon teas you have tried in London. Have you tried a cheaper one? I mean, this used to be like the cheapest, unless you went, I think Whittards possibly did one cheaper, but there might be cheaper ones now, but it is one of the cheapest ones you can get in London. So if you're looking for a cheap afternoon tea, it's definitely there. You get what you pay for in terms of how much you get, I suppose. For a bit more, you can go to the Ivy, but they have a bit weird things sometimes. They have a really, there in the Ivy, they have a really nice brioche one with like chicken in. That's so nice. But other than that, yeah. So what afternoon teas have you been to in London? Let me know down below. What have you found? Is there ones to avoid? Is there ones to go to? Let me know. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already, please take a moment to subscribe and follow my Instagrams down below. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye.